Hi everyone, my name is Anam and I'm here with my teammates. So we all are here to present the Roblox case analysis to the CEO. So as we all know that Roblox is an online gaming platform where we can play millions of games as well as we can also create the games. So how Roblox make profits? So Roblox make profits through the sales of Robux, that is the in-game currency. Also, the company uses the freemium model. So what is Robux? So the Robux is the virtual in-game currency available as one-time purchase marketing deals and partnerships to promote other firms products and services. Licensing it's like companies like Walmart, they pay for like selling Roblox branded items. And also royalty fees is a fee that is paid to Roblox for the intellectual property. So here we did the SWOT analysis. So one of their strength is that like there are more than 50 million different games available to consumers, and their weakness is like the company faced a huge loss of 250 million over a few years, and their opportunities are like they can grow its market by expanding it in other regions, as well as like they can increase the market share of adults and teenagers. So the threat for the Roblox, I would say they had like there are many big companies such as Amazon and Microsoft. They had to compete with them, and also they might face downfall because of the intense competition and business flaws.
All right, so this is the financial summary of our company. So the daily active users growth was less in 2020 through 2021 as compared to the 2019 to 2020 years, and the revenue increased by 108%. All right, so to attract developers, to bolster Roblox's growth, we relied on two criteria. One of them is creating a competitive environment with a reward system and realizing the importance of brand partnerships. So the first criterion um, is creating competition. And how we're going to do that? Well, this is how we're going to do it. We already acknowledge, well, at Roblox, we like to take care of our developers, and we want to make their efforts valuable. We want to recognize them for their efforts. And like on Roblox, you can make money off of it, but on top of that, we want to raise the bar higher, and we want to make Roblox a competitive environment. And so what competition does is that it creates more for it creates a constraint, and people are limited, and so people become more focused and motivated to creating effective games. And how we went about doing this is we've decided that the top 30 games with the top 30 games with the most visits at the end of the year in a state will receive prize money. And so how we went about establishing this prize money is that of our $50 billion revenue, 0.39% of it will be attributed to the prize money, and it equates to about $197 million. Yeah, $197 million, and this prize money will be dispensed to the winners of the competition. So a management theory that relied on for this first suggestion is one of leadership, because we want to reward our developers so that they could be motivated and focused on achieving a goal, and that goal is to finish top 30 among players across the globe. So this is the first suggestion. Second suggestion is so brand. We realize the benefits of brand partnership marketing, and so what that does is it assures people. Sorry about that. It assures people. So the assurance of a celebrity whom we trust in their judgment. So the thing about celebrities is that we trust, we admire them, and so everything that they do, we want to follow suit. And so there are benefits to that. So I'll give you a rundown of the benefits, and then I can give you a couple of examples. So first benefit is that it broadens. So when you partner with another brand, it broadens the reach of a company's target audience. It increases marketing exposure. It extends its marketing. It broadens the scope and purpose of marketing strategy, allowing the company to market in a variety of new ways. It saves money, and it helps in gaining new customers in new market segments. So I'd like to talk about the last 2 points. The point about saving money, take a person like Stephen Curry, sorry, he's a basketball player. And he doesn't only appeal to NBA players, people that play basketball. He appeals to athletes across the board, and even more so, people that don't watch, people that don't play sports. He appeals to all kinds of people. People may like him for his personality and what he does off the court, and so it saves money that you don't have to. Roblox doesn't have to expend money or time on coming up with inventive or smart advertising that will try to reach as many people as possible. And the second point, which was to help gain new customers in new market segments, is that I'll give you examples. So according to the article, Merkle, quote, the Yeezy brand partnered with Gap, producing instant sellouts. Yeezy Gap moved more units of a product in a single day than in the entire history of Gap.com, end quote. And I also like to give you another quote. So, quote, Gap also gained new customers. 70% of Yeezy Gap purchasers were shopping for the first time. Gap stock shares were up 166.4% in the first 12 months of the partnership, end quote. So as you can see, 70% of the people that shopped for Yeezy Gap items had never shopped at Gap, had never shopped at Gap before. It's only because of the merging of Yeezy and Gap that Gap was able to have more customers. And so, yeah, this is.
So when it comes to financial ratios, it is the most widespread tool used to analyze a business financial standing of a company. It helps investors, creditors, internal company management understand how well a business is performing and the need of improvement. There are three categories of financial ratios. One is liquidity, which measures company ability to repay both short and long-term obligations. The other is profitability ratios, which measures the company performance based on revenues and costs. Lastly, the solvency ratio measures stability of a company to pay its long-term obligations, such as debt and interest on that debt. Coming to a liquidity ratio analysis, we see in the graph that in the last 4 years, the cash has increased from 227.6 million to 3004.3 million, being a positive indicator. Same goes with the current ratio getting higher and higher every year, which eventually makes current assets and cash greater than the short-term liabilities, giving an overall picture of having enough liquidity to run a company and manage the burn rate. In terms of profitability ratio analysis, we see a fluctuating pattern of gross margin in the chart for the last 4 years. The lowest gross margin came in 2020 due to COVID pandemic, where the financial market came down, but later on in 2020, it went up. It also shows that free cash flow margin and gross margin after the 2019, its direct cost has not been effectively managed, for which there is a need for a better tax shield through management and in interest payments.
So we analyzed Roblox solvency from two perspectives. One was with comprehensive losses, and another was without comprehensive losses. So one might ask, what is comprehensive losses? So comprehensive losses can include pension plans or loss from investments in other companies. So comprehensive losses does not necessarily reflect a company's performance per se, but because they are not hard cash losses. So if we consider comprehensive losses, Roblox had negative debt to equity ratio from 2018 to 2022, which means company's liabilities were much greater than its assets year over year until 2021. But if we analyze without comprehensive losses, Roblox debt to equity ratio was much better, excluding comprehensive losses, as amount of assets was much greater than liabilities. So the net asset value increased compared to liabilities from 2018 to 2021. company's ability to fulfill its long-term debts in case of a downturn increased year over year.
So the next question was, are there any types of intellectual property or non-physical assets that could be recorded in financial statements? Simply, the answer is yes. And first of all, we define what is a non-physical asset or an intangible asset. It's an asset that is not physical in nature, and some examples might include intellectual property, as stated in the case, goodwill, brand recognition, or so. And so, yes, it's usually recorded in financial statements, but we should note that there are basically three types of financial statements. The first one is the income statement, the second one is the balance sheet, and the third one is the statement of cash flows. And usually intellectual property, which is an intangible asset, is recorded on the balance sheet. It could as well be recorded on another type of financial statement, but generally it's on the balance sheet. And yeah, it's recorded as a long-term asset, which basically means it can be converted into cash anytime soon. And the second issue was that Bazuski has heard that it is useless to keep historical financial statements for a firm like his, where apparently most of profit is generated from intellectual property and non-physical assets. And our question was to know if this was true. And our answer was basically that it isn't, simply because intangible assets generally add to a company's future worth and can even become much more valuable than a company's tangible assets. And moreover, it helps banks, creditors, and investors assess the worth of a company more accurately. So it's important to keep historical financial statements for intangible assets, even if they're not cash.
So as my partner already explained, intangible assets can be actually registered in financial statements. Also, the accounting principles require that defined intangible assets must be associated to the cost and registered in some financial statements. But the problem is that intangibles are most of the time inadequately represented in financial statements. So even though they are recorded in financial statements, for this market, for the technological market and the Roblox market in general, there's this debate that is still difficult to determine their true value market. Also, there's the intangible black hole that we can see Roblox has. However, we advise to the CEO that he's right in assuming that the financial reporting don't reflect the factors that create sole corporate value for certain industries in the market economy. However, he should not discard the functionality of these statements, like my partner already explained. So for this, we suggest two principal strategies. The first one is that he can benefit and develop a strategy that incorporates corporate social responsibility, and he can make profit from intangible assets, such as net zero rates and other type of environmental assets, and also a good organizational structure, which this may include effective specialization and division of labor, coordinated efforts among employees, proper hierarchy of authority, centralization and decentralization, and formalization.
And lastly, another management theory that we will actually advise to Bazuski was to keep a good corporate culture, which is the key to success of every company. And a good corporate culture might include things such as caring workspaces, purpose-driven cultures, playful work environments, safe and risk-conscious cultures, culture of innovation, learning cultures, and so on. So basically creating a safe space for every worker so that everybody feels at ease. Yeah.
For our conclusion, the major strategy and recommendations are accounting losses or unrealized losses, which are extraordinary in nature at times, must be managed well to reflect a better bottom line. These are generally compressed in other comprehensive losses. And as well as we explain in the last part of this presentation, improve organizational structure, a good culture, and incorporate intangible assets as a corporate social responsibility strategy. Thank you so much.